Uh-oh. Okay, so what you just saw there was me trying to build the last shock. This is the third shock out of the 4. And I just completely failed and broke one of the little clips required to build it. So that is in the mail and on order. So, moving on. Now we're just gonna skip all these steps. Most of them I have done already. That'll be in the next part of this build. But for right now, we're just going to move on to the transmission. Bag D. We have some bearings, some screws and spacers, and transmission parts. Let's go. Okay, to start off the transmission, what you do is you get this gear here. It's a plastic gear. It comes with the plastics. And what you do with this is you put a small bearing on the inside of both sides, and then you get this metal shaft and slide it through like so. And then that's all for this for now. So once you have the first gear done, you get this shaft that's threaded on one side with 2 holes, and you slide this little pin through here, and you get this metal gear and slide it over and fit it accordingly like such. And then once you have that, you get 2 small bearings, and you pop one on each side of this. Okay, so the next thing you do is you get this plastic gear, and then what you want to do with this is you want to get both outdrive shafts, or just one of them for now, I guess. Line it up with the holes that are in the wheels already, and just set the screws in there. Okay, so once I have one screw set in properly, I'm just going to line it up with another screw, and then I'm going to tighten it together. Okay, so once you have the first screw in there, you can go ahead and do the rest. Remember to use the thread lock when you're doing this. And so, yeah, I'm just going to continue and put the rest of these screws in really quick. Okay, so there we have the drive shaft gear, the one that actually spins the drive shafts. And once you have that done, you get all of these things that we just assembled together, along with this transmission case from the plastics. And then what you do is, first you get this small gear, smallest, and you just pop that in the top. And once you have that done, then you get the middle gear and you pop that in the middle. And then you get the largest gear. And what I'm going to do right now is, before I put the largest gear, I'm going to grease it with this grease gun. There we go. You just make sure to get the grease everywhere. And then once you have that part done, then you just close this off like so. And then you screw it together using this long screw and a washer. Okay, so once you have that first screw, basically after that all you have to do is get this little AXiAL logoed thing. You get this one, and you just cut it off from the parts tree. And then you simply place this over 1/2 of the case, just to seal it, I guess. And that is the transmission. Okay, so dealing with the spur gear here, the first thing to do is to get your actual transmission. Let me just clean this up a little. Get your actual transmission. The rest of the 3 long screws right here. And then what you want to do is slide them in these holes right here, and right here. Like so. Once you have that done, what you're going to do is get this half of the shroud, and with the cutout facing the same way, you just slide it through here, and the screws will line up. And then you just put in the motor mounting plate. It comes with cutouts in it so that it just pops right in. And then you screw this down. And there we go. Once you have this done, this is the majority of the transmission here. All that's left is the slipper clutch. So here's the slipper clutch itself, or the spur gear actually, or whatever. Yeah, and then so what you do with this is you get 3 of these screws, and you get this metal piece right here, to which you bond this thing. So let's do this first. So what you have to do here, peel off one side of this. The white side is the side that peels off. So I'm just going to peel this off and line it up and place it. That was pretty easy. Expecting something difficult. And so once you have this, you just get the gear itself and you pop it in there like such, and you line up the holes. Once you have the holes lined up, what you do is you get these 3 screws, which I mentioned earlier, I think, and you slide them through here with washers. I forgot to do that. And then you tighten them. Okay, there we have it all screwed and everything. And then what you want to do is you want to get the transmission itself that we already assembled like 2 minutes ago, and get this little spacer that I'm holding. Slide this onto here, and then you get this, and you slide this one on using another pin. Alright, so once you get that pin in there, it's you just slide this on, and then it'll just pop right into place. And then you get the gear that we just assembled and slide it onto there. Next thing you want to do is you want to get this thick washer and slide it on, and then you get the spring for the slipper clutch and you slide that on, and that should just all popping down into place. Then you get another one of these thick washers and you put it like this. Then you get this thick nut and you just tighten it. The trick to tightening this, according to the manual, is to tighten it until it's fully tightened and then turn it back 2 turns. So Okay, and I'm going to loosen it 2 turns. Okay, so I'm not sure if that's exactly correct, but we'll test it later when we have the whole truck together. And then the next part deals with the motor. Okay, so here we have the Tekin FXR and the 35 turn heavy duty motor. For now, all I'm going to be needing is the motor, just so I can mount it up. So here we have the Tekin motor, the brush motor. This is all I'm going to be needing for now. I'm not going to do any wiring yet. So what we do is we get the transmission, which we assembled, and then you simply pop the motor in here, and then you have to get some screws. For these screws, you get these 2 screws right here. They're the thicker, shallow screws, and you get the other 2 washers, the last 2. You get the other 2 washers right here, and you simply line them up with the motor and screw them into place. Now I want to have my Team Tekin sticker facing out, so I'm gonna assemble it this way. Okay, so there we have the motor all mounted up and everything. And once we have that complete, what you want to do is you want to get the pinion, which I'll put right here. You want to get the pinion, and you want to get this little grub screw, which is right here. And then what you're going to do with these things is get the right bit for this and tighten it onto the motor. Okay, so there we go. Everything is now lined up and I can twist it around. And once this is done, all that's left to do with this is put on the shroud. Get the shroud here and cut it off. Once we have it cut off right here, what we want to do is line it up on here like such. You want to get the 3 smaller ones for this. And finally, to top this all off, you get this AXiAL cover, and you just pop it onto the top. There we go. And that, my friends, is a completed transmission. Hey guys, what's up? It's the Maniac here. Hope you guys liked that video. Make sure to subscribe because this is only the 3rd part of this build. We already did the axles and now we did the transmission. And there's still more to come because, as you guys saw in the beginning, I messed up the shocks. So we'll do that in the next video. Make sure to subscribe and like, comment, and follow us on Facebook and Twitter and Google+. Do it right now. Right now!